TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. We talked city finances today with Hazleton Mayor Jeff Gassett. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has more on Act 47 and the possibility of exiting from it in 2023.
Hazleton Mayor Jeff Gassett spoke with us this afternoon about the state of the city and the progress that's been made. For the past 3 years, Hazleton has been in Act 47, but hopes to exit out come next year.
This year we created a restricted reserve fund of about $1.5 million, which will allow the city to avoid taking outside tax anticipation notes, and we'll be able to fund ourselves moving forward. We set up a bunch of guidelines to utilize for this year and into the future, which should stabilize us.
The mayor and administration are also working on plans to pay off past debts by moving some millage from the debt service to the general fund in order to add services to the city. Gassett also talked taxes.
Since we entered Act 47, we have increased tax millage by 0.93 mils, which is actually 42% under the estimate that the Act 47 plan would call for. So we're doing very well in that situation. Again, last year our revenues increased 3.5%, while our expenses were down 1.5%.
Numerous factors contributed to the city being on the stable financial ground that it's currently seeing.
Being able to create and follow through with legitimate budgets and accounting for everything that would be needed to run the city efficiently, put us on a financial course that will lead us out of Act 47. The last couple of years we have not had any make-believe budgets filled in with generic revenue that one-time sources. So we came up with sound financial budgets, and that's what's really going to lead us out of this.
Throughout the pandemic, the city was able to continue with business as usual in order to keep moving forward.
In addition to what we have done, we are setting the city up for a very good future, bringing in the developments that are coming in. Yes, they are getting some tax breaks now, but in 5-10 years down the road, they will be hitting additional revenue line items. When certain revenues are going to be running out for the city in the next couple of years, those will be kicking in. And also the new jobs that are created are going to be bringing in the EIT tax, the LST tax, and general commerce throughout the city.
We also spoke with the mayor about other topics, including paving projects, new technology for the police department, and parks and recreation. We will continue our conversation with the mayor on tomorrow night's news. In Hazleton, for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. A Hazleton woman was charged after cutting a man and damaging his vehicle during an argument. Officers were called to a home at 4 Morris Lane around 9:30 last Monday evening, where 23-year-old Jaylene Cintron Castellano was found out front screaming at a man. She became combative when officers tried to approach her and began swinging her arms to avoid being handcuffed. Officers say they had to use force to take her into custody. The man told police they were arguing inside before Cintron Castellano stepped outside, repeatedly smashed the front windshield of his Honda Odyssey, and cut his arm with a knife. Cintron Castellano was charged with resisting arrest, simple assault, disorderly conduct, harassment, and criminal mischief. She was released on $10,000 unsecured bail the next day. A traffic stop led to the arrest of 2 people in Butler Township. Police say that 50-year-old John Recletus of Butler was driving in the 500 block of West Butler Drive around 5 p.m. January 22nd when he was stopped for traffic violations. A passenger, 51-year-old Keith Golem of Wapwallopin, was arrested after it was found he was wanted by the Luzerne County Sheriff's Department on an outstanding robbery warrant. Police also found a handgun concealed in Recletus's waistband and a syringe in his pocket. Recletus was charged with firearms not to be carried without a license, possession of drug paraphernalia, driving while suspended, and traffic violations. He was arraigned and lodged at Luzerne County Prison in lieu of $75,000 bail. Additional charges against Golem are pending the completion of the investigation. A Tamaqua man's locked up after trying to break into his ex-girlfriend's home over the weekend in Mahanoy City. Police were called to a home on North 10th Street around 11 Sunday morning, where 19-year-old George Budahas was found trying to break in. He first unlocked a door to a porch area by reaching through a mail slot, then tried breaking down an inner door, all while threatening to kill a man inside. The woman who called told police that Budahas was her ex-boyfriend and was sending her text messages stating he was going to kill the man she was currently with. Budahas was arrested and charged with burglary, criminal trespass, making terroristic threats, and criminal mischief. He was arraigned and is being held at Schuylkill County Prison on $50,000 straight cash bail. Police in Wilkes-Barre are asking for the public's help locating a woman wanted on drug-related charges. 28-year-old Brittany Hogan is wanted for use of drug possession, manufacture, and delivery. If anyone knows of her whereabouts, they're being asked to contact Wilkes-Barre Police at 570-208-4635. A Barnesville man was charged by state police for causing not one, but 2 accidents while allegedly under the influence. According to police, 53-year-old Alan Meckes lost control of his pickup truck on Wildcat Road in Walker Township back on January 21st. He crossed into the opposite side of the road and struck a Ford Explorer. He left the scene and crashed head-on into a tree about 5 miles up the road in Schuylkill Township. Meckes was charged with DUI, and police also discovered that he was driving with a suspended license. He was taken to an area hospital as a precautionary measure, but no other injuries were reported in the Schuylkill County crashes. Kingston police are looking for information about an abandoned dog. An unidentified male driver operating an unknown type of vehicle allegedly dropped off the brown and white boxer on Church Street last Thursday night. Witnesses say that the dog was seen running after the vehicle as it drove away. Anyone with information on this incident is being asked to call Kingston Police at 570-288-3674 extension 405 or to leave a message on the department's Facebook page. An emergency relief effort is underway in Wilkes-Barre to assist the 124 people displaced by last week's fatal fire at the Ginetti apartment complex. The United Way of Wyoming Valley and the American Red Cross are accepting monetary donations to meet the immediate needs of those displaced to get them back on their feet. Donations can be mailed to the American Red Cross NEPA chapter or the United Way of Wyoming Valley in Wilkes-Barre. Donations can also be made online at redcross.org or unitedwaywb.org. The Salvation Army in Wilkes-Barre will accept donations at the rear of the building from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Usable, clean clothing, furniture, and non-perishable food items will be accepted for 2 weeks. Coming up on Wyln News, a prolific character actor passed away over the weekend, plus details on all the Knights Preppers action tomorrow night. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Vanilla. I'm 12 years old, and this is your Wyln forecast for the week.
We want your child to be our Wyln Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on Wyln News and Wyln social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the Wyln News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazelton, 570-454-7229.
Imagine being free free from the pain normal exercise can cause. Introducing the Teeter Free Step.
Featuring patented stride technology licensed from commercial high-end physical therapy equipment, Free Step is the only home-use stepper with this unique, gentle, linear motion, delivering the best in low-impact exercise.
It's almost like the machines that I had at physical therapy. The Free Step has been a lifesaver for me. It really has.
93% of users surveyed reported the Free Step was easier on their knees and back than other cardio options.
I've tried the elliptical, I've tried the stationary bike. The Free Step answered so many of the issues that I had. I can get a full body workout and not be in pain while I'm doing it.
The Free Step engages both the upper and lower body, boosting calorie burn by more than 17% and distributing muscle exertion so your workout feels easier.
Instead of sitting in my favorite chair, now I'm sitting on Free Step. I can watch TV. I'm moving my legs, I'm moving my arms. Before I know it, the show's over and I just got a great workout without even thinking about it.
Call or go to tryfreestep.com to learn more.
Attention, WYLN viewers. WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
Prolific character actor Howard Hessman passed away Saturday in Los Angeles from colon surgery complications. Born in Oregon, Hessman started out with the San Francisco improv group The Committee, which regularly performed at anti-war and civil rights protests, and moonlighted on Saturdays as the DJ for the San Francisco rock and roll station KMPX. He later earned 2 Emmy nominations for playing the radio DJ Dr. Johnny Fever on the sitcom WKRP in Cincinnati, which ran for 4 seasons from 1978 to 1982. The role made Hessman a counterculture icon at a time when few hippie characters made it onto network television. Hessman's credited also included The Head of the Class, The Andy Griffith Show, One Day at a Time, The Rockford Files, Laverne and Shirley, The Bob Newhart Show, That 70s Show, Fresh Off the Boat, House, Boston Legal, and many films. Howard Hessman was 81 years old. Our WYLN sports crew is already gearing up for its next 2022 high school basketball game. We kick off with some live Knights Preppers action tomorrow, February 1st, when the ball is in MMI's court for the boys' matchup against Lake Lehman. Get your favorite fill of Marty Burns and our WYLN sports crew, bringing you the event, not just the highlights. No plans tomorrow night? No problem. Got some? Well, cancel them. Instead, tune in for the 7:15 tip-off and all the live local action right here on WYLN TV. Coming up on Lehman's News Choice, we bring back For the Cause Teen Center in Community and You. Plus, who's leading the way again this week? Stay with us and find out.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years. S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Everybody has a flashlight, but can your flashlight do this? The Bell & Howell Tactical Flashlight can. The Bell & Howell Tac Light can do things no ordinary flashlight can do. Look, this civilian flashlight puts out pathetic light, but our military-grade Tac Light, that's 22 times as bright. It's so bright, it can be seen up to 2 nautical miles away. Only a Tac Light has a super bright strobe that can stun and disorient would-be attackers. A car battery will stop working in sub-zero temperatures, but even getting frozen in a block of ice couldn't make our tack light stop working. It's tough enough to survive getting run over by a Humvee. Try that with a regular flashlight.
You can get a Bell & Howell tack light complete with a lifetime guarantee for just $19.99, plus free shipping. And while supplies last, you can even get a second one. Just pay a separate fee.
To order, call 1-800-324-8267. That's 1-800-324-8267 or go to trytacklight.com.
Welcome to Community and Youth here on WYLN. I'm Julia Wiegand, and today we are in Berwick at the For the Cause Teen Center with Director Teresa Peters. How are you, Teresa?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Give us a little background and overview about what the organization does.
So For the Cause Teen Center provides students in 7th through 12th grade, regardless of their school district, an opportunity to come in and we nurture their social, emotional, and intellectual well-being. With that being said, we offer programming and services that are completely free. We are grant funded as well as donations and fundraising to help support those free programs. But we live in an underserved community, and it's really important for us to be able to offer those type of programs and services to the youth in the local area, as well as outside of that area.
Now, how long has this place been a thing?
So the Teen Center actually opened officially, it'll be 4 years, August 23rd, 2017. So it's really exciting. It's a youth-led center. So we have 16 to 17 full-time driven Youth Action Board members. It's a governing body, so they make all the decisions really within the center, including the programming. And that was like one of the very first things that we decided that we would essentially initiate, is that it would be a youth-led center, knowing that it's what's important to them. Might not necessarily resonate with us as adults, but that it really comes from them.
It really does make a difference. I've seen For the Cause all over the place. Tell me what the organization gets involved with around the community.
So For the Cause is really into community revitalization. They've done a lot of different things over the last 12 years. A lot of theirs were more geared towards events that raise money for other foundations. Specifically, Susan G. Komen runs different local runs, just really trying to keep kids healthy and adults healthy as well. But one of the major focuses is providing nutritious food for local students. A long time ago, there was several counselors and principals that were located here on the west end of Berwick that noticed that kids were growing hungry over the weekend. So sure, they were getting free food during the week, but then come the weekend, they weren't being supplemented with any food. So it was brought to our organization to be able to provide that. So with the weekend food program, we were able to do so. So we've been doing that program for a long time. I think it's maybe before I even came into the organization, so maybe 6 years. It's kind of gone through different hands, but we've actually adopted it back. And then the other part of For the Cause is the Teen Center. So that's really what our focus is right now. And our goal is to really combine both the student and the parent, knowing that it has to be a family unit that has to come in for programming, because we could help students, but if we're not helping the family as well, then that's where we fall short. And we really want to encompass all of that. So that's really where For the Cause comes into the picture.
How does all of this come together in terms of how youth in our area get involved?
So basically, we have the Youth Action Board, and those students that are on there are from 8th grade on up. It's a leadership program. It's one of our most prominent programs. And so youth can become involved through their guidance department. We also have students that are on our board from Central, Columbia School District, as well as Columbia Montour Votech. So it's nice that we have like that ability to reach out to those students as well. You know, as far as just becoming a member, it's really easy. They can either go onto our social media and ask for a digital membership form, or they can come in and fill one out as well. So everything that we're trying to do right now is shifting to digital, being that, you know, because of COVID and whatnot, we kind of moved everything that way. So we're kind of gearing everybody through that type of database.
And having a center like this is huge in terms of, I mean, there's couches, there's a pool table over there, there's a lot that kids can do that is also just off the streets in general.
One of our most well sought out program was our cooking class, like cooking around the world. This is, again, prior to COVID, where we would have open classes. We have a garden in the back where we would do a lot of garden to table cooking. And we did a stress-free summer pilot program where we worked with Wilkes-Barre University on doing the research. So we really partner with a lot of local organizations to provide this programming. But kids can drop in at any point that we're open and grab some food, some drinks, and or become part of a program that we offer. Really, it doesn't matter to us as long as we can provide some sort of service to them. I think it's just really important to invest in our youth, and so that we ask people who either need services to, go to our social media pages and get their kids involved somehow. Again, we're open to any student in 7th through 12th grade, so that's nice. It doesn't matter what school district, if you're in Hazleton or if you're at Crestwood. We've had kids come from all over. We've even had kids from Atlanta, Georgia to New Jersey. But I think that the big takeaway is to know that we provide a free, safe space where kids can just relax. We really have been, trying to supplement this lack of education and things and resources that these kids have had. So having the tutoring services and having the free food, as well as having the counseling, is critical right now in today, in this day and age.
Thank you so much, Teresa, for letting us pop in and get the behind the scenes behind For the Cause in the Teen Center.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everybody watching out there. Remember, For the Cause Teen Center in Berwick is open to a lot of youth, and it doesn't just have to be from Berwick. It can be from all around our viewing area, most definitely. That's it for Community and You. We'll see you next time.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Dr. Amar Abbasi is leading the way again to kick off this week's series.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leading the Way, where we explore the backstories of those paving NEPA towards a better future. This week, we're joined by Dr. Amar Abbasi. So let's start at the beginning. Doctor, tell us about growing up and kind of that early childhood. What led you to pursue a medical field?
So I think we need to start at the beginning. So I spoke to my mother last night. And she reminded me that I want to be an astronaut. That has nothing to do with this. But she wanted me to make sure everybody knew that I wanted to be an astronaut when I was 6 years old. Anyway, going forward from there, I actually, growing up, I grew up during an age where, I was born in like 1980, so I grew up in a time where we were making the transition from analog to digital. So a lot of my time was spent making that transition. So I was heavy into computers. So growing up during my time, I spent a lot of times seeing the development of computers. And I ended up getting into computer programming. And my good friend, actually, his uncle had a computer programming company, and he ended up doing computer consulting, and he wanted to hire us as when we were in high school as computer programmers. And one of our first jobs were actually building our desks. And we learned computer programming languages, and we worked for his company while we were in high school for about 3 or 4 years. And we worked a number of hours over the summer and developed programs, and we thought that these things that we developed in this office were going to be programs that were going to be utilized, every day. And the company in 1999 ended up going bankrupt. And so I realized at that time that all the work that I had done over the past 3 years didn't serve anybody.
Yeah.
So at that time I kind of decided that I wanted to do something that if I had gotten laid off the next day, at least I helped somebody or served some type of purpose the day prior. And so that started me thinking along the lines of something different. Also during kind of middle school and high school, I was heavily into kind of fitness and physical activity and health. At one point I wanted to be a gym teacher, something else my mother reminded me of. I remember my parents kind of saying, look around you, these are not the types of amenities gym teachers might be able to afford, so just take that into consideration as you go forward in your future. So I was always close with my strength and conditioning coaches, and I ran track. So as I got further along into kind of my college days, I looked at that as a possibility. So going into my first years in college, I kind of started to get into the sense of, okay, well, I like health and fitness. My roommate's already going for pre-medical, which was convenient, so that maybe we could take the same classes, and I want to serve people the same kind of every day. So I started taking similar classes to him. it kind of all fell into place where I did fairly well in these medical classes and pre-medical classes, and I decided at that point that I'm going to try to see how I did in medical, going into medical training, and that's kind of where it kind of all came about.
All right, folks. Check back tomorrow as Amar continues leading the way into part 2 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.